Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. I've seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have built for him an altar in the evening dews and damps. I can read his righteous sentence by the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His day is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea, with a glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make men holy, let us live to make men free, while God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. While God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. While God is
Jesus along. Walking in the sunrise, walking in the shadow, walking every day, all along the way. Walking in the sunrise, walking in the shadow, walking with Jesus alone. Walking in the sunrise, walking in the shadow, walking every day, all along the way. Walking in the sunrise, walking in the shadow, walking with Jesus alone. Walking with Jesus alone. Walking with Jesus alone.
Good afternoon. Meet me, today's news anchor, George Corelio. This afternoon, I come with the information from Indonesia that says Indonesian government plans 700-kilometer seawall from Banten to East Java. Presidential envoy for climate and energy, Hashim Sujono Jojo Hadikusumo, announced that President Prabowo Subianto has decided to construct a giant sea wall stretching 700 kilometers from Banten to East Java. The president decided to implement several programs, including the construction of a giant seawall of 700 kilometers from Banten to East Java. He stated at the 2025 ESG Sustainable Forum on Friday, January 31st. According to the presidential envoy, the program aims to protect rice fields on the north coast of Java Island. He drew attention to public concerns about the seawall, particularly the threat posed by rising sea levels to fishermen. This is all caused by climate change, Jojo Hadikusumo remarked. He stated that plans for the giant seawall had been in development since 1994, highlighting that the government recognized the dangers posed by rising sea levels at that time. However, the project has not been realized. He projected that the giant could take 10 to 20 years. He pointed out that developing a food estate in Kalimantan or Papua would be futile if millions of rice fields were inundated due to rising sea levels. Earlier, Prabowo instructed his ranks to review the construction of a giant seawall extending from Jakarta to Cirebon as part of a national strategic program in 2025. Coordinating Minister for Economic Affairs, Erlangga Hartarto, stated that this directive stemmed from an internal meeting led by the president concerning the development of special economic zones and the completion of national strategic program by 2024 to 2025. Hartarto noted that the construction of the Jakarta-Cirebon Giant Seawall project will connect with existing flood and tidal control embankments in Semarang, Central Java. The funding scheme for the Jakarta-Cirebon Giant Sea Wall will be carried out through the Government and Business Entity Cooperation Scheme. This giant seawall is included in the list of national strategic projects for 2025, aimed at realizing energy and food security, Hartarto stated. That's all the information I got from Indonesia today. Next, from the UK, British-Israeli hostage says Hamas held her at UN facilities. A British-Israeli woman who was held hostage by Hamas in Gaza for 15 months says she was detained for some time at United Nations facilities. During a phone call with UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, Emily Damari, who was released earlier this month, said she was held at sites belonging to the UN's Agency for Palestinian Refugees, UNRWA. She also said she was denied medical treatment during her captivity, despite being shot in the hand and leg. In a statement, UNRWA said claims that hostages had been held on UN premises were very serious, and that it had repeatedly called for independent investigations into claims Palestinian armed groups, including Hamas, were misusing the facilities. Israel has repeatedly accused personnel from UNRWA of being involved in the 7th October attacks and said that its buildings in Gaza were used by Hamas. The Israeli government plans to ban the organization from operating. During the call with Downing Street, Ms. Damari said that while being held at an UNRWA facility, Her captors only provided her with an out-of-date bottle of iodine to treat gunshot wounds in her leg and her left hand, on which she lost 2 fingers. Speaking to BBC Radio 4's PM program, UNRWA's Director of Communications, Juliet Tuma, was asked about Ms. Damari's claims. She said, "For many, many months, we did not have access to several of our facilities, so the vast majority of our buildings were turned into shelters when the war started. At some point, we had 1 million people in those shelters." A Downing Street spokesperson said they welcome the fact that UNRWA have said there should be an investigation into the use of their facilities. Ms. Damari, now 28, also used the call with Sir Keir to thank people in the UK who campaigned for her release of hostages being held in Gaza in exchange for Palestinians. 3 more hostages are set to be released on Saturday, while 183 Palestinian prisoners are expected to be freed. Some 251 hostages were taken by Hamas when it attacked Israel on October 7, 2023, killing about 1,200 people. The attack triggered a war which has devastated Gaza. Israel's 15-month military offensive killed 47,460 Palestinians in the territory, according to Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry. That's all the news that I bring for this afternoon. I am George Corelio, today's news anchor, saying goodbye. Good afternoon.